How Vivo is evolving their 4G network toward 5 network is my topic today with Átila Branco. He is network director at Vivo. Átila, first of all, explain to us what Vivo is doing in order to boost and to improve your 4G network toward the 5G.
Well, what we are doing here is taking advantage of our spectrum. Okay, Vivo in Brazil has the major spectrum in the main cities of Brazil. So what we are doing is applying some LTE-Advanced techniques in our network, like carrier aggregation. Okay, today we have 91 cities in Brazil with carrier aggregation with 2, 3, and 4 carriers. Okay, and of course this is I think the main strategy that we have in the access network. Of course, we are applying other techniques like 256 QAM for modulation in hierarchy and MIMO 4x4. But these two techniques has less mobile handsets available in Brazil. Okay, what we think that in the future our customer can feel improvement in their connectivity. Okay, but by now what we are doing is applying the LTE-Advantage techniques and working also in our core network. What we are doing is virtualizing our network. Okay, Telefónica has an architecture dedicated for that. The name is Unica. Okay, Unica is a full integrated architecture for data centers, open source with many partners that we have in the world in telecom and IT. What we are doing is deploying 90 data centers in Brazil from now until the end of 2008.
And how is this related to the path to 5G? I mean, how is that all integrated?
Yes, I can explain that it's not 5G. It's the basis. What we think about 5G is that we need to reduce latency a lot. Okay, for 1-2 milliseconds. The way we need to do that is one of the techniques is to make to approach the core network from the access to the access. Sorry. And in order to do that in a country with as big as Brazil, we need to deploy a lot of infrastructure to spread the core network. And for being cost effective, what we are doing is virtualization. Okay, using IT, open sources, orchestrators, and hardware open sources also. Okay.
Here at FutureCom, in the 5G panel, the discussions were really about some challenges that we faced ahead in order to implement. And one of them is having more sites and antenna deployment, which are difficult here. And the other one is the frequency band. And how Vivo is seeing all those challenges and how to go ahead them.
Yes, the situation of cell sites, for you have an idea, in Brazil, Brazil is a continental country, and we have 50% of the entire U.S. cell sites. Okay, so the gap that we have in macro sites is huge. Okay, and the main problem that we have is that every city has their own law to licensing. Okay, and we are been discussing that from I believe that 5 years, 5 future calls, and nothing changed. So some cities are doing some movements like São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, but it's not enough. Okay, there are cities in Brazil, important cities with huge traffic, that they demand us environmental license. It's something that takes 12 months to acquire. So what we are doing is to make communication, clarification of the situation, to try to move them to unblock the situation, using the government, using the marketing together with us. But in the technical side, what we are doing is to simplify our infrastructure to become more smaller, fast, without a visual impact. Okay.
You mean using small cells or the DSA systems?
Yeah, small cells, poles, something simple and without visual impact. But the gap is still there. The gap is macro sites. Small sites to cover this gap is a problem at all.
And also optical fiber will be required for the 5G, right? So how is the deployment in Brazil?
The deployment is very delayed, unfortunately. Okay, we had the same reasons. Okay, to acquire licenses to do the constructions is complicated. The constructions in Brazil takes a lot of time, a long time. So what we are doing is sharing. Okay. All the operators together, sharing the costs, sharing the license, sharing, and the infrastructure that we have. But it's not enough. We need to speed up other possibilities, other sharing opportunities in order to reach the cities that we need to reach with fiber in order to launch 4G and 4.5G or LTE-Advanced.
And we are talking about 5G like 2021, 2023 in Brazil. Until then, what will Vivo launch, or how is going to upgrade its offerings and its networks in order to meet the data traffic demand and customers' experience demands?
Yes, I think that we have in the correct path. Okay, what we are doing is taking advantage of our spectrum, making carrier aggregation in the access side to improve. We have an enormous investment in fiber to the site in order to have the backhaul capacity for all this traffic. And what we are doing is invest in our core. Okay, we are enlarging, almost doubling every 6 months the capacity of our core network.
So thank you a lot for this interview.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
I'm Roberta Prescott. Follow all FutureCom news at rcrwireless.com.